part of a coaching program called the Core. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not. I'm not advocating go join the Core. I'm a part of it. I love it. I think everybody should eventually get into some sort of coaching program once you hit a level for a higher level of accountability and really to take your business to the next level. Is it for everybody right away? No. But this is some really good stuff that you guys can take away and really take into your business and run with it right now. So while this is probably one of the lamest named documents of all time called the Greatness Tracker, it's true though, this is really the ideal day in real estate. And if you do this consistently and are honest with what you put on the sheet, your business will explode. Now, I go back to the consistency part because you have to realize that everything that you're doing in prospecting, it's not instant. And that's where I think a lot of people have the problem. They want the instant gratification. And I think it's kind of a byproduct of just what we live in right now. I mean, we're all used to this. We push a button and we get whatever we want delivered to our doorstep. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to talk to anybody. There it is. It doesn't work that way when it comes to this business. You have to be out there. You have to be consistent. You have to be prospecting. Prospecting is the golden rule here in real estate. And that's what you need to be doing for the majority of your time. That is how you're going to get past having those months that go up and down, up and down, up and down. So this is kind of your perfect day, perfect week. Here it is, the Greatness Tracker. So we're going to start right here in the middle, this section that says great phone calls. Everybody experiences call reluctance. It is one of those things that happens. The easiest way to get over it, just do it. You got to just call. And this is another way that I'll show you of how to look at it and reframe it in your mind of how to kind of get over that call reluctance with just looking at the numbers. This basically is going to turn your business plan and how you run your business just into a math equation. It's really simple. If you do these things, I will get this result going on. So on here, it says we want to have a total of 60 calls a week. That's including the weekend going on here. So it's 10 calls a day. So these aren't just calls that you make that you don't talk to anybody. These are your actual conversations you have. You want to actually have 10 great conversations about real estate every single day if you can. Now, I don't expect you guys, if you're first starting out, to fill this out all the way. It's something you work up to. So on this, you need to be really honest with yourself that yes, what I put on here is what actually happened. So with the phone calls, it's for every 50 call or 50 conversations you have, you're going to get one deal out of it. So it's really simple there. And you know, okay, if I have my 50 conversations a week, I'm going to get a deal a week. It's really, really simple that way, you guys. So these are great conversations actually about real estate going on here. I'll get in a little bit later into who you can call and what days, what that looks like, everything like that. But that's where your calls go. And you write down, I just write down the name and that's it. That's all you have to put down, just the name. Those obviously are going to lead into the top two up here, which is going to be face-to-faces, which is obviously something that's not really happening right now, but it still can happen. I mean, you can put in Zoom, FaceTime, Microsoft Teams. I don't know if anybody's using Microsoft Teams, but whatever it is that you're going to be communicating virtually, as long as it's a meeting of like 15 or more minutes where you actually are technically face-to-face with somebody, put it in there as face-to-face. The point of the phone calls is to obviously set up meetings to go. We are all better when we're in person and face-to-face with somebody, or at least virtually with someone. You can actually read people's expressions. They see that you are a real person and not a robot, which is huge. That's a great thing. So we're all better when we get there. So that's the goal of the phone calls, is to get into those face-to-faces. And then we really want to turn into what's called break breads, which is meetings that go over 15 minutes or about a half an hour or longer. Obviously, those can also be lunches, and getting a couple different people together in one lunch, really easy there. So for each day, you want to have 3 face-to-faces, try to get up there, work your way up there, and then you want to have a total of at least 5 break breads, so meetings of a half an hour or longer a week. So that's that section there. You move down, you have events. So you just want to have 1 or 2 events a week. Obviously, open houses aren't happening right now, which is a real bummer. Open houses are the greatest things in the world. I used to work open houses all the time. I would still work open houses. I'm bummed I don't get to. I love them. But let's get creative. What are some other events that we can do? Virtual happy hours, virtual pizza parties. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you guys can still do and invite people to. Over Zoom, is it exactly the same thing? No, but you can still do it, you guys. I know there's some chambers of commerce that are still doing virtual meetings, so you can go join in those. Business groups, like there's ways to get this stuff done. You just got to get creative with it. The next one down is going to be videos. So this doesn't have to be on social media. Most of mine actually happen over BombBomb, which is a video email service. I send stuff out to a contact list. So it's a short video of me going out, but definitely social media is something that I'm actually, that's in my business plan for next year to really reset mine. If you guys look at my Instagram, it's basically under construction right now. There's nothing going on with it whatsoever. But these short videos, I mean, videos should just be about a minute long. You don't want them to be super long or anything like that. And they just need to provide value to people. That's really the main thing. Christy actually has done a great job lately. If you go and look at some of her videos of just explaining what the process looks like. That's an awesome video. Post that. Most people have no idea what the process looks like. You can do basic terms that are in the real estate process. I mean, most people don't know what an escrow account is. Most people do not know what earnest money is. One thing that I see a lot of, which is great, are the market updates. I love those. Almost everybody that looks at them.
Oh, if you guys ever want those, by the way. So yeah, we have pre-made market update templates. We have pre-made ABCs of real estate templates. Like everything Craig is talking about, we already have designed. Just holler at me. I will send it your way and we'll make it you.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I love, like, post those market updates, do a follow-up video with it or put it in your story, whatever it is. I don't know which social media you guys can be using, but do a follow-up with a video, because most people have no idea what those numbers mean. They're like, okay, that looks like a lot, but they have no idea what it means. So go more in depth and explain, hey, this is how this affects you as a buyer. This is how this affects you as a seller. Again, add that little bit of added value in there and really go dive a bit deeper. Really quick, really easy. You can literally just do it on your phone, hold it, press record. The real thing about videos, guys, is record it, don't look at it, just post it, just go. Otherwise, you're going to spend like 3 hours recording a video. Just press send and you're good. Just do it, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, you are who you are. People are going to see you that way anyway when they talk to you face to face. They're going to be just fine with it. So just don't try to record the video multiple times. Just boom, send it out. You're good to go. Okay. But so you want to have, it says 250 views basically. It's all you really want. So send it out to a bunch of different people if you can. If you're just posting on social media, you'll get the views on there. You want to do a couple of those a week if you can to set it up so you can try to really hit that target going on. But it just provides a little bit of social proof all the way out there too. Next one down is the hours that you prospect. Again, guys, I said prospecting should be the #1 thing that you are doing, and it needs to be. It is also the easiest thing to push to the side when you get too busy. When you push it to the side, though, that is when, again, you have those up and down months. And that is what we want to avoid. So no matter what, you have to make time to do your phone calls, to make these appointments, to post the quick videos. So time blocking is key. I'll kind of go through what my schedule looks like, and you guys can kind of go from there. I personally set aside 3.5 to 4 hours a day. That's just prospecting time every single day.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the important reason for printing out this sheet at the beginning of each week, because we're not all perfect. And I believe in all you, but let's be honest, you're not all every single week going to fill this out exactly like Craig's talking. You're just not. But if you're really honest with yourself and you really fill it out, you don't have to put notes from your conversation. You don't even have to put a last name. You just put a first name or initials of every single person you call. And every single, meeting and so on. The reason it's there, you don't have to share it with anyone, though I think accountability partners can help maximize success with this. But the reason it's there is because then a month from now, when you're like, man, I don't have any closings right now, you can go back 30 days ago and see, well, sure as shit, that's because I didn't do any, that's because I wasn't doing what I said I'd do. Sorry, excuse my language. But it's the point of this whole thing is that if you set a goal next year that you're going to do 12 closings, you're going to do one every single month, and you stop there, you're not going to do 12 closings unless you get really lucky. The only way you can't like say, okay, I'm going to do 12 closings and wake up every day like, let's do 12 closings. You're not going to do anything. You have to break that into actionable items. And so that's the point of this, is you can't like say 12 closings and just go do 12 closings tomorrow. But what can you do? You can make phone calls. You can set up appointments. You can post social media content. So the idea is breaking down your goal of 12 closings into actionable tasks and then record it so you can, and so you're not taking Craig's and my word for it. You'll see, I guarantee you'll see, if you really start tracking this, you'll see, wow, that's so weird. I had a really busy month. And if you go back to the month before that month, I guarantee you it's going to coincide with filled out greatness trackers. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, it's an awesome point. I print out one of these, and I don't just keep it on my computer. I literally print one out and have it sitting on my desk, and it does not move the entire week. And if like 5 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, all right, I'm done for the day. And I look down, and there's an empty box on there. I'm like, no, I'm not. I got to just finish this up. So it's a way to hold yourself accountable. Like Isaac was saying, have an accountability partner, and it's maybe even something that we can set up where we do a weekly meetup, possibly with a bunch of different people in the office. I think that would be awesome. I would love to do that with you guys. But it is, and again, be really truthful on this thing. If you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out, you guys. Be really honest. Like, you want to be able to track where your results are coming from. And that's what this is here for. It's not just for you to write on. You know, I mean, you can do that, go for it, but you're not going to get what you need to out of it.
And it's better to be honest with yourself than to follow Craig's greatness tracker to the T, right? If you're going to, you know, cheat, there's no point. So, you know, obviously this is like ideal. These numbers are like, this is what you should shoot for. And Craig's the success he has had running this exact program. But if you know, because you're working part-time or because you have a family that you are responsible for and homeschooling essentially, and you can't make.
We lost you, buddy. Isaac's got new fancy headphones, and I swear they hate him.
What was that?
We lost you there for a little bit, bud.
Just said, friend.
Oh man. Well, I don't even remember where I cut off now.
We can't rewind the tangent.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, it was so good. You guys missed out on some great content there.
All of the gold in the world. Yeah. No, but again, and I don't expect anybody when you first start doing this to be completely filled out, and it probably shouldn't be. If I see it completely filled out every single time when you guys are first starting, I'm probably going to question it, and you guys should definitely question it. When I first started doing this, I BS'd this, and I wasn't getting any of the results I wanted, and I was like, this is stupid. And then the coach I had was like, all right, let's be honest here. Like, did you really do this? And I was like, no, I just didn't really want to get yelled at.
It's not that different than a diet or something.
No, it's not.
If you're counting calories and then eating fridge cookies, like obviously your diet, like your macros aren't going to level out.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And it's so, does it have to be filled out perfectly every time? No, you guys are striving to have this filled out. So, and it's really cool to see as you go to, I save all mine. I have them in a giant binder. I save them for the year and go through, and then I move them out to another binder where I keep them and for the next year, and it goes on. So I keep mine so I can track, okay, where were my big months at? What was I doing? What did the activities look like? And this is it right here, you guys. This is your entire business. It's right here. You can go back and track everything. Knowing your numbers is a huge part of actually running a business, you guys. And it's one of the hardest things that anybody needs to learn in this industry is track your numbers. That's how you're able to grow, you guys, and repeat what you've been doing. So yeah, that's the tangent off that. Oh yeah, Christy. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Can you tell me what the difference is between like face-to-face, so videos, Zoom, whatever, hours prospected? Because would you kind of be prospecting that person if you're talking to them?
That's exactly it. So anything that you were doing that is trying to generate business. So doing those face-to-face, that's going to be part of it. So that's just the total hours that you did that day of prospecting. Okay. So any of your meetings, totally go into those hours prospected.
Okay.
Sound good? Yeah. And I'll show you kind of what my schedule looks like so you guys will see what my quote unquote green time looks like. So you guys can kind of take a look at that. Okay. Cool. Well, so that was a tangent going off about that, being consistent, being honest, do it. Next one down is thank you cards, you guys. This is the no-brainer that we all know to do. and we just don't do it for some reason. This is this one thing that's just kicked off and nobody cares. Everyone loves getting a handwritten note. They really do. It's a lost art going on, you guys. All you need to do is write 2 a day, 2 of them a day. I have my cards sitting out at the end of my day, the night before. I set them 2 blank cards on my desk. I wake up in the morning, I grab my coffee before everybody else in the house is awake. I walk into my office, I just knock them out while I'm drinking my coffee. If you don't have a bunch of people that you can thank, that you can think of, like if you don't have past clients or anything like that, you can send thank you cards to or whatever. One of the best things you can do, think of 20 people who have made an impact in your life or that you really aspire to be like. Write them a thank you card for, hey, you were this amazing influence on my life. I just want to say thank you. Or, hey, I really admire you. And I want to emulate a lot of what you do. Write them a thank you card, guys.
Craig, could
just
I
do it.
interject?
Yeah.
So as the queen of cards, as Isaac must lament, so before I get into writing a card, especially like, for example, I have 50 Christmas cards I'm sending out just to our brokers. So I made a list of who I'm sending them to, and I already have their addresses in an Excel sheet ready to go. So all I have to do is fill out the envelope. I've got my stamps in a bag. They're ready to go. And then I write out the highlights of what I'm going to talk about in the card. So, you know, I've got Christy and Anna. We're going to talk about you guys are being new brokers. Anthony Venturi, we're going to thank you for being with us for a year. So it's like the sentiment is real. It's just, you need to sort of find, it's like outlining a 5-paragraph paper. Like come up with your thesis, come up with your themes per paragraph, try to figure out what you're going to say, and then do a call to action. Like, I think that is the best way to make the most of your thank you cards is, you know, writing like a PS. If you have any questions about real estate, please give me a call. Lifeline or referrals are the lifeline of my business. Please, you know, share my information with a friend. You know, if someone's brand new to home searching and they're freaked out, have them call Craig and talk about what happens with financing. Like baby steps and really coddling people makes the long-term relationship last.
It really does. And we'll get in, I have a whole thing for lists for you guys, who you do what on what day, like I'm going to go into that, but yes, the lists are a huge part of it. So up until a couple months ago, I was a full-time single dad while also trying to run this business. If I did not have everything planned to a T, my life was chaos. So that's where I got really into time blocking. It's where I had all my lists just curated all the way through. You need to do these things, guys. And it makes your business just automated. And it's really important. And so it's a lot of heavy lifting up front sometimes, but it's worth it. And it really pays off. And then you just go with it all the way through. Okay. So that's thank you cards. You want to do 2 a day, 10 a week. Okay. That's really easy to do, you guys. Like you all know 10 people a week that you can send a thank you card to. And then down below that, you write in the leads that you got that day. Okay. So any leads that you got, you write them in there. Hopefully you're getting one a day. That'd be awesome. That's what we want. But you go down and then you have listing and buyers. So you write down, okay, I actually have these people. I am listing their home. I'm helping them find a home, and you write their name in there. Okay. So ideally we want to try to be getting one a week. We're going to work our way up there, guys. So this is the quick snapshot of this is the perfect day, week in real estate. Does anybody have any questions really about the form, how to fill it out, what it looks like, anything like that? I don't think I have everybody's here. Let me get to a grid view here. I don't think I have everybody. I can't tell. Nope. Okay. Nothing, anything that Robin, you want to add in, or Isaac?
No, this is something that Craig can give us, and I'll upload it into the ROGTK brokers group. That way it's an easy place to find it, and I'll put it in our agent resources folder and send it out with the recap email as well. Yeah,
I'll send everything so you guys can have access to all this stuff. And then again, I'm always available if you guys have any questions and want to do one-on-ones with it. I'm always here to do that too. So that is the greatness tracker. Again, I recommend you print one out. You have it sitting on your desk to keep you accountable, staring at you in the face. Okay, so that is what I recommend. This is really important too, because this, again, you'll see your numbers. So there's been this statistic said that for every 50 calls or 50 conversations you make, you will get a deal out of that. So all of a sudden from that, you can go, cool, I can actually figure out how many conversations I need to have per year, per month, per week, per day to do X many transactions. So I don't even think he's still on here anymore. No, he's not. Okay, Isaac took off. So Robin, let's use you. So how much do you want to make 2021? What is your income goal? Net income goal, not gross, net.
True story. Isaac and I have not talked about that yet. And I am such a green little baby. I'm not sure.
Perfect. Who's got a goal they want to throw out? Christy, go for it.
I would like to make 100,000 take home.
100,000 take home. Okay.
Dang,
And if it was
So-
more, that'd be really awesome too. But you know.
So this is how I do this planning, you guys. So wants to make 100,000. We'll say, so average price point, maybe 350 that we're going to be selling. Does that sound about right for everybody? I mean, it's going to vary depending on the area, but I think 350 is probably a good medium price point there. Nobody's giving out 3% commission anymore, so we're going to go with 2.5% commission. So for $350,000 house times 2.5%. Oops. Math is hard. All right, so you make about $87.50 per transaction. So I really step on things, you guys, so that I have an emergency thing. We're going to say half of that is gone for taxes and what you pay the brokerage. Okay, it's definitely not going to be that much, but again, I like to make myself panic a little bit if I have to. So
And for anyone watching this, we definitely only
yes, I know you guys do not take that much.
Our
You guys will make much
transaction
more,
fees are $50 or oh my God, what are our transaction fees? $250 for every 250K of sales price.
I just like to, I guess I'm a bit of a masochist. I just want to be panicked at all
You're
times.
a little bit,
Yeah.
a little more modest in your prophesizing.
Yes. So we'll go with $43.75 on each transaction. You guys are going to make much more of that, but we're going to go with that. Okay. So that, oops. So we're going to take $43.75. Perfect. So we have 100,000 by $43.75 means that you need to do 22.85. So we're going to say 23 transactions over the year. Okay. Now for that also, I don't divide that by 12. I divide it by 10. I take 2 months out of the year because there's vacations. I hope nobody gets sick, but you have some room for getting sick. You never know what's going to happen. Stuff pops up. So I take 2 months out of that of, okay, that's off time where I'm not going to be fully focused on my business all the way through. So 23 divided by 10, 2.3 transactions. We're going to round that up. We're going to go straight for 3. So that's 3 transactions a month or 30 for the year. That's what we're looking at. Okay. So I just rounded that up a lot. Well, we'll stick with 23 for the year. Okay. So 23 times 50, because it's for every 50 conversations you have, you get a deal. So that's 1,150 conversations for the year. Okay. You can divide that by 12. You need to have 96 conversations a month. You divide that by the 4 weeks. You got to have 24 conversations a week. Divide that by 5 working days. You got to have 5 conversations a day. Do you see how it all just becomes a math equation all the way through? Hey, if I make 5 calls a day, I know I'm going to get a deal. Like it becomes that easy, you guys, and you're not worried and panicking about where's my next deal going to come from. It takes that pressure off of you, and it makes you be able to go into conversations when you're looking at prospective people that are listing their home or prospective buyers with an ease, and you're not coming off with the commission breath going on. You can show up, okay? It really just, that's pretty much what I do for my business plan every year. I go, cool, how many conversations do I have to have this year? Okay, what does that mean for month, week, day? Easy, boom, done. I don't have to worry about anything. If I do those activities, I'm gonna hit my income goals. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? Or wanna add anything in? So for me, when I figured out I could make it into a math equation, I was like, oh, I'm all in. There we go. I went to business school, so I was like, oh, I can do this. Okay, this makes way more sense for me. I can do this. This is really easy now.
Something to keep in mind too for the ambitious Christies out there is if you are making $100,000 a year, at a certain point, you're going to be able to do a different math equation that Craig can also help you out with,
Yeah.
or Isaac. And it's trying to figure out what your per hour sort of rate is. And once you know what your hourly sort of rate is, you can start sort of, picking up a social media coordinator that you could pay less than your hourly rate because your time is valued in a different way. You could pick up someone to make those calls for you, to fill out your thank you card. So right now you got to put your nose to the grindstone, but as time goes on, you can start delegating this kind of stuff out.
And I'm also going to throw out there, you can hire a TC. I know a really good one I can recommend.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. Being able, again, this is going to be able to help you guys scale. And knowing what your hourly rate is a really good thing. It also makes you look at that and go, my time is worth this much. So I need to really protect this into my green time, in time I am prospecting. Does that make sense? So knowing what your hourly rate is a huge thing. You know what you're actually worth per minute that you're talking to somebody, okay? Now, so going to what we were talking about with lists. I love that Robin brought this up. I love lists, they're great. Actually, I'm gonna get to my schedule first, I lied. So here is my sample weekly schedule, you guys. This is it. The green time is me prospecting. The red time is me doing everything else, so it doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. It's all important. But I get into emails first thing in the mornings just to see what's caught up after hours and stuff like that. I have a pipeline meeting with my team every day, so I know exactly where we are with every single loan. I know where we're at, what milestones we're at, what comes next, if we have any fires that need to be put out, anything like that. I jump back in and work in a file for about a half an hour, and then I jump into my calls. I time block out at least an hour, if not 2 hours, just for calls, you guys. That's it. When it comes to your calls, this was the greatest thing that was ever taught to me, because you get those people who are going to take up an hour of your time when you talk to them. When you come up to one of those people, just go, hey, I have a quick 5-10 minutes, and then I need to jump into a meeting. I just wanted to reach out to you. You get to control how long you're on the phone with that person then. That saves you guys, especially when you're trying to get in more calls. That can absolutely save you as you're going through this, because everybody has, their aunt that wants to talk to you for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't have time for that. I got this much time during my workday. If you want to talk to me outside of it, great. But right now I need to control who I'm talking to and for how long. That's one of the greatest tools that was actually taught to me. Like I heard that and I was like, why have I never been doing that? Like I'm dumb. How did I not think of that? But it's awesome. So one of the most effective things I think too is somebody is scheduled an hour block in the morning and then an hour block in the afternoon to be doing their calls. So you can have 2 different times to do it. I have mine set up where I knock them all out just right there in one block. I do not have my email on unless I have to have it on while I'm talking to somebody to send an email to that person. My email is off because you can get distracted by email so quick and go down the rabbit hole of email. I am solely focused just on my calls, okay? Then you'll see more green time that I have, which are my appointments with either referral partners or with borrowers, okay? So that's all green time because that is the money-making activities that you are doing, okay? So again, you can see I have 3.5, 4 hours every single day blocked out. So basically half of my day is just me prospecting, which is what really needs to be happening, you guys, okay? So you need to figure out what's gonna happen to you, but this is why time blocking is so important so that it gets done. So I recommend that you write it out what time it's gonna happen at. You are not going to be disturbed during that time. My assistants know they do not call me during the time that it's green. I will not pick up the phone. Okay, so they know not to bother me during that time because I am working on bringing in more business going on. So that is kind of the mindset you guys need to have of, if I don't do this, I won't have a paycheck next month. Okay, and this is how you're going to be consistently doing this stuff. You're going to have that business where you don't have to worry about that stuff, you guys. So really pick an hour or 2, block it out every single day, be consistent. Okay, consistency really is the name of the game throughout this entire thing. You guys, being consistent makes your business. And again, don't expect it overnight. It's going to take some building up, but just be consistent with it. Okay.
Well, it's called farming.
Yes. I wish everything was instant. And that's another thing, guys, where everybody's like, oh, I'm going to do Zillow leads. Like, people will pay not to do these phone calls and stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. First of all, internet leads convert at a way, way smaller rate than somebody that you actually know. People want to do business with people they like, know, and trust, you guys. So go after the warm leads. Go after the referrals from other people. Go do that, you guys. So now we're going to get into who do we call on all these days. We have all these calls to make. What are we going to do?
Can I say something about the schedule really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm at the office now, so I have great signal, so I won't cut out this time.
That's great.
Nerdy example, but when I first started budgeting my finances, I thought it would be like tying me down, but I found that it's the exact opposite, because what it did was it no longer made me guess, can we afford to go to dinner? Can we afford to go to the movies? Can we afford to buy this? Can we afford to do this? If it fit in my budget and I knew I was paying all my bills plus fluff for this and this and this and this, then I had the freedom to spend money on whatever I wanted if it fit in the budget. And so that's kind of the beauty of the schedule too. If you're somebody who loves taking a lunch break that's an hour and a half long, where you take a walk and then you go spend an hour with your kids during their lunch break, and you can still fit everything you need to do in your schedule, that's great. If you're the type of person that prefers to, make phone calls in the morning, or, start work in the morning and make phone calls 8 to 10 and then get off work at 2, that's great. If it's all budgeted essentially in your schedule, you have the freedom to do that. And that's the beauty. I mean, that's one huge reason why I would say everyone on this call got into real estate, is the freedom aspect. And I know that can kind of be a joke in real estate. People are like, oh my gosh, what freedom? We work at our, on our client's schedule. But at least if you're able to get this stuff out of the way in the morning, or schedule it every night at a certain time, you know that you can afford to take time off when you decide to take time off, because you have it budgeted. It literally is a budget with your time. And so I find when I am time blocking, I become it's like tough at first, but it improves my quality of life, because it like gives me the freedom to do it.
Yeah. And then I know Isaac and I have talked about this a couple of different times and used this kind of analogy. When it comes to time blocking, when it comes to filling out the great instructor, when it comes to doing your calls, all this stuff, guys, it's like going to the gym. You go over the first time, it's really hard. You're going to be really sore the next couple of days. All right. But as you do it longer and longer, it becomes easier and easier. And also you don't worry about going to the gym, or like regret, or like have this fear of like, oh God, I have to go to the gym today. You actually become really, really looking forward to it. So just think of it in that way. It's the same way as working out, you guys. So being consistent with it, it becomes easier and easier, and it becomes muscle memory, you guys, where you just look forward to doing it. Okay. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So what was I jumping into next? Theme days. Okay, so by no means you guys need to follow this to a T. I have all my days themed out though of who I call, but this is kind of one that was made up for specifically just for realtors. So Monday, you call your top 50 VIPs. So don't call all 50 of them. Try to call 12, 10 to 12 of them. Give them a call. So VIPs are people that have referred you business, people that you just really love. Who basically VIPs are people who are going to, if somebody is talking about real estate, they're gonna be like, hey, I know who you need to talk to, and they're gonna give your name out. Those are your VIPs. Okay. So that's Monday. Call 12 of them. For more marketing stuff too, figure out a birthday program. You should know when their birthday is. Send them a birthday card. There's some more stuff we can do with mailing out stuff, but we can get into that at a later point, or you guys can just reach out to me and I can kind of go over what I do with that stuff. But we'll kind of just stick with what the themes of the days are here. So Tuesday, status updates with your clients that are under contract or possibly are out looking, okay? Touch base with them. You need to be talking and communicating with them constantly. That is the number one complaint when it comes to lending and realtors is people don't communicate enough, okay? So you guys really need to be out there talking, making sure they know what's going on. So that's Tuesdays, status updates for any of your clients. Wednesday, new leads you got in, old leads that you haven't talked to in a long time. be working them, you guys. You should have a list of these sitting somewhere that you can just go through and you can call through, okay? Thursday is past clients or just your database in general, okay? So again, 12, try to call 12 of them, try to talk to 12 of them every single week. So that's Thursdays. Friday is the cold calling day. That's the fun day of the week for everybody. You figure out what you want to do. If you're going to be calling builders, if you're going to be calling FSBOs and expired, if you're going to be calling just local businesses around your area in town, to maybe even go make a video about that restaurant or something like that, like to promote them. Like, guess what? That's going to become one of your VIPs as that business owner. Okay. And business owners are absolutely fantastic resources. You guys should get to know every single business owner in your area. You want them to be talking to you because guess what? They see a ton of people every single day. So you want them to be talking about you. So that's a really good spot to start off too. If you don't want to just start cold calling FSBOs and expired, those can be rough. But they're also worth it when you start gold mining that stuff too. Okay. So that's kind of a basic just theme day. You can come up with your own themes that you guys want to use. But again, I need to have everything. This is exactly what's going to happen. Otherwise my life just feels like it falls apart because my schedule is crazy. So,
something I'd like to interject, guys, is that this is also sort of going back to the diet analogy. If you skip Tuesday, like something happens, you get distracted, whatever, it doesn't mean you ruined the week. It just means you had an offbeat Tuesday. Don't get don't get sad. Don't feel like you need to feel guilty about it. Just pick back up on Wednesday and then kick the next Tuesday's ass. Like, it's okay.
That's it, you guys. Yeah. Don't beat yourself down, but strive to always get better. You know, don't beat yourself down though over it. Like, stuff happens, you guys. And again, especially when you're first starting doing this, like, it's going to look rough, and that's okay. You're not aiming to be perfect right away. You're starting to build up to perfection, which guess what? There's no such thing as perfection. So you're always striving just to do better than you did the day before, the week before. Okay.
One tip I have for deciding how your calls each day are going to go. Maybe I'm weak, but for me, I struggle getting going. So for me, it's like, I like to schedule my easy calls for the beginning of the day. I like to, that's just me. I like to, the calls that I have planned for that day that are like not going to be as uncomfortable or I'm less nervous about. Those are the ones that, like, maybe it's your sphere, the ones who, not non-cold calls, but that's just me. That's just a pro tip that if I connect with people who I already know first, because then I feel like warmed up. And then when I make the harder phone calls, the ball's already rolling. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's
so
huge.
The opposite.
Oh, there we go.
So I always start the day doing whatever I don't want to do. That way I can treat myself to like tea and a cookie or like a walk outside before I finish my day with the easy ones. So there's no right or wrong way to do it.
No. I will say, like, when I first got into the industry, I did have a bit of call reluctance going on because I got my teeth kicked in by somebody I cold call, and then I spent the next 2 hours of my day staring out the window. It looked like it could have been like a music video for Hello Darkness, My Old Friend playing, and I went home like an hour early from the office, just really distraught. And then woke up next morning and go, what was that? Why did I react that way? At the end of the day, guys, you're just trying to bring value. But if you need a good like jump start into this stuff, call me. I would love to pump you guys up and get you going in your day. Like, call an easy one if you need to, just to get going and into the flow of making those calls. That's absolutely a great idea. Robin, I love it. You're just like, nope, I'm just going to do what I don't want to do and power through that. But that's also a great thing, because then you keep a promise to yourself and you build that trust in yourself of, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I love both of those ways. They're absolutely fantastic. It's just doing it, you guys. That's it. Just figure out whatever's going to be comfortable for you for doing it. Okay.
It's totally legal as an adult to buy gold star stickers and stick them to stuff when you've achieved your goal. Not gonna lie, that tiny little boost of serotonin helps me kick butt the next day, honestly.
I love it. Okay, so this is basically what your guys' list should look like when you make these lists of people. Okay, you guys should have a database. Really basic information you should have: name, address, phone number, email address, birthday, anniversary of either like a closing date or like their actual like wedding anniversary. And it's a couple hobbies about them. So you have something to talk about. You have notes you can reference on these things. But you want all that information. So one, you can call them on the days that you want to call them. You can email them when you need to send out emails. You have a reason to reach out to them on their birthday, on their wedding anniversary, their closing anniversary. If there's a Seahawks game and they're a Seahawks fan, maybe send them a quick video like, oh my, I couldn't believe that game. Like you give yourself reasons to reach out to people. All right. So this one is just for your top 50 past clients that you have. Fill it out. Top 50 VIPs, it's the exact same thing going on. Fill it out, or just put your entire thing in a database of all your contacts. And then probably another day, I will go over how we make who's going to be a VIP, how do you become a VIP, or get with me one-on-one if you guys want to. I'd love to go over that. I have something I can share with you of how you can rank your VIPs, who's really on it, who's not really a VIP, and how to make them turn into a VIP for you guys, okay? But the important thing is have a database, have it in place, have the information. If you're missing someone's email, but you have their phone number, guess what? You have a reason to call them. Hey, I just realized I don't have your email address. What's a good email address? And then just talk to them, you guys. Now, when we're making the calls, you guys, the biggest thing, you don't want to be a used car salesman. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to talk about it, especially because a lot of these people are getting people who are already like, you're friends with them. And if you come off like that, just don't do it. It's gross. Nobody wants that. One of the easiest things you guys can remember is the analogy Ford or frog. I've heard it frog too. But Ford, it stands for family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Okay. That's what your conversation should be around. So start off with family. Hey, how's Becky, wife, girlfriend, whoever it is? How are the kids? How is Susie and Timmy? How are they doing? How's school going with them? Like, and they usually will answer, oh, they're great. And then, or like, hey, they started a new job. Cool. Ask another follow-up question with that. So you get a little bit further in depth in that, and then move on to the next one. I usually save occupation to either go second to last or last. And I'll get to why in a second here, but recreation after that. So what have you guys been doing? I know it's COVID's going on. So what have you guys been doing for fun now that most of the stuff we want to do isn't open and going on? What have you guys been doing during the spare time? Like, just get the conversation going, get them talking, get them warmed up, okay? And eventually you get to occupation. Ask them about their job, how's work going, how it's impacted by COVID or anything like that. Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna tell you exactly what's going on. They go, how's work for you? There is your ticket to talk about real estate, you guys, without just blurting it out at them. They're asking you, okay? You want them to bring that up, you guys. You're just building rapport, getting the conversation going. You don't want to throw it out there. Have them get it out of you, okay? So that's why it's really important to kind of stagger these how you want to. Be strategic about it. So, but always, the biggest thing is don't do the most common mistake when people are like, oh, yeah, you're in real estate. That's right. How's the market? Most people go, great. It's awesome. It's crazy. And it's like, cool. Well, now we're done. That's all I needed to know. Don't do that. So if somebody asks about how the market is, well, that depends. Are you buying or are you selling? What are you curious about? You're going to have different answers, and it's going to make the conversation go in. You're going to be able to figure out where they're looking for. Okay. So that's really important. Isaac, I know you've talked a little bit more about that too, if you want to add anything in on that. Unless we lost him again.
I think he might be away, but something that I'll say is if you have someone's email address and you spend all year drip campaigning on them, at that birthday, you better be using that email address to send them something cool. Like, it's, a $15 Starbucks card and then a Zoom invite for them to chat with you, the day, like the Friday afternoon after their birthday. Like, create a follow-up, like create value. So you're not just asking stuff of them. Make sure to give as well. Like, if Craig called someone and they said they had a terrible day because, the roof was leaking, something bad was happening, whatever, like, it's totally up to you to DoorDash them some dinner. It's up to you to drop off some muffins or, other COVID times, offer to pay for a babysitter or something. Like, you can go above and beyond occasionally to really make that heavy connection, and that will sustain you for a long time.
Yeah, it resonates, you guys. It really does. Don't just go into this asking for business, you guys. That's not what you're doing. Okay. One, always be of service to others. That's the biggest thing. It's one of the biggest tickets in this industry is be of service to others, you guys. And I mean, birthdays, you can ask Isaac or ask Craig Tuttle. I'll be forever embarrassed probably when they share this with you, but I called both of them on their birthdays and I recorded a video I didn't record a video for them. So I left them a voicemail of me singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. It was terrifying. And I have the voice of a dying walrus, but I did it anyway. Okay. So it's just these little things that make you stand out, you guys, but make them feel special. Craig loved it. Isaac was like, I don't know if I could talk to you for the next couple of weeks. I'll be honest with you. And I didn't blame him. I was like, that's fair. It's terrifying.
I mean, Marilyn wasn't known for her amazing singing. So
I have nothing that Marilyn has going on or had going on. So, you know, I don't know. But again, it's just being of service, you guys. I mean, and right now you guys have every reason to call every single person you know of everybody in your phone, everybody on your Facebook list, everybody on your Instagram. You have a reason to. Holidays are coming up. There's a new year coming up. What are you guys doing for New Year's? What do you have planned for 2021? Like, there's reasons to call and reach out to people, you guys. So there should be no lack of you calling and reaching out to people. You guys can do it. The hardest part is making this list. I'll be honest with you, is really going through, taking the time to do it, but also doing it gives you reasons to call people to figure out this information. One of the easiest things that I do to make sure that I hit everybody at least twice a year, because you want to stay in front, is I have it done alphabetically. I do each week, it's a letter of the alphabet. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. There are 52 weeks in a year. That way I am hitting everybody at least twice a year, you guys. I will actually have a conversation with these people. Okay, that makes you stay top of mind, because if you don't think that they are not getting advertised to you by like 50 other realtors, I don't know what to say to you, because they are. Everybody knows somebody else in real estate. Everybody probably knows about 15 people in real estate at this point. Let's be honest, you guys. And they're all reaching out to these people. They're all doing Facebook ads. You have Redfin who is just shoving it down people's throats. Like, this is how it is. Okay. So you need to be doing your part to make sure that you stay top of mind. All right. We've all had that experience where somebody went and bought a home with someone else and you're like, hello? Like, why? Guess what? You don't get to be mad at them. Be mad at yourself. You didn't stay top of mind with them. You didn't reach out to them, stay in contact with them. They might have not even known that you were a realtor. Like, you can't get mad at that. That's your fault, not theirs. Okay.
Something else to think about too is, like, if they did work with someone else and they do know that you're a real estate agent, they might feel like, oh God, it's going to be so awkward because I should have listed with them and I didn't. So, like, jump the gun and send them like a voicemail or something, because text can always be misconstrued, but send them a voicemail and say like, hey, I saw that you just bought a house. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. You know, if you have any questions, I saw you worked with a great agent, but I'm still always here for you. You know, like, bridge that gap so they know that there isn't any awkwardness and that you're just happy for them. And that way you can still put in the value so that when they sell that house and then buy another, it's with you.
Totally. And always just be grateful, you guys. Like, that's the biggest thing, is always be grateful. So, like, yeah, somebody bought the house with someone else, be like, hey, I'm so happy for you guys. That's awesome. Taking the next step is absolutely amazing. Home ownership is such an incredible thing. And I couldn't be more excited for you guys. Be genuine with it. Be excited for them. I do it all the time. Do you think I get every single deal? No, I don't. But I go, you know what? You're going with them. That's absolutely fantastic. Go with them. If you guys need a second pair of eyes on any of the loan docs or anything like that, you have any questions and you feel kind of awkward talking to your loan rep about it, if you don't think they're doing something right, let me know. I would love to be able to run through them with you and still just answer those questions for you, so you have a second pair of eyes or a second opinion on something. That's it, guys. Like, it's that simple. Just being of service, even if you're not getting anything out of it. That's the most important thing, is do it and don't expect to get anything out of it, you guys. Okay. So
it's the same as loving someone. If you go into loving someone expecting them to fulfill a need for you, you're not giving your love candidly and honestly. And it's not that different from real estate. If you go into it expecting someone to list a house with you, you're setting them up to fail. And that's not exactly fair. No,
it's not. It's not at all. So that's kind of my spiel for today, you guys. I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me talk. I get really passionate about this stuff. I really believe in this stuff. I am walking proof of what this really does, as long as you're consistent with it. Knowing your numbers is everything, you guys, so that you can grow. So I want you all to know your numbers all the way through. And this is the greatest way to hold yourself accountable. And like I said, I'll put all these docs, I'll get them over to Robin so you guys can access them. If you guys need more one-on-one stuff, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay. I love this stuff. I love going through this stuff. This is, you can ask Isaac. I bug him about this all the time. I get on him about it. Are you doing your phone calls? And it's like my first thing I ask him every single day, and he's just annoyed with me. But I love this stuff to death, you guys. And it's really, I want you all to just go out and absolutely crush 2021. I want you to blow out your goal that you set within the first 6 months. And I hope this is kind of the gateway and the key for you to open that door and be like, wow, this is actually really easy once you just break it down into a math equation and do these things. And the accountability is fantastic. And you can hold yourself accountable, print it out, keep it on your desk, and have it staring at you so that you know that you did something wrong. So it's staring at you like a disappointed parent. Okay. That's how I have to look at it every single day. I'm like, all right, I'm not done yet. I still got a couple more to do. You're right. I did just shove all of my toys underneath my bed. It's not actually clean. So I mean, look at it as a challenge, you guys, and really challenge yourself. Be honest with it. Don't just fill it out to fill it out. Really like fine tune yourself and really start running this as a business, you guys. And this is the first step to doing that. Even if for the next year, all you do is the greatness tracker, I guarantee you, your business will blow up, you guys. It's going to be awesome. You're going to see a huge difference in it. That is the number one takeaway that I got. It's the number one thing that I do, even though I'm in this great coaching program. This is the bread and butter of my business. And this is the number one thing, no matter what. If the world is on fire around me, as long as I stick to this greatness tracker, I know that my business is going to be just fine. Okay. So, but again, any questions about any of this, if you guys need any help with your phone calls, if I need to be your first phone call, call me. My phone is always on. Shoot me a text, give me a call. It's 206-512-0047. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, you guys?
You're also always welcome to call me and practice on me. I would love to hear you try to recruit me as a buyer or a seller for that matter, because we can benefit each other, because I don't know what I'm doing either.
There was totally one more thing I forgot to mention in here, you guys. Okay, so when it comes to call reluctance, we all have it, and you're gonna get cursed out and hung up on sometimes. Like, it's just gonna happen, you guys. Like, you got to face the music. It is gonna happen at the end of the day. Again,
especially with the pandemic, and especially when the eviction moratorium goes away, people are going to be. It's like someone's sunburnt and you're chucking salt at them. Like, it's just, if someone is not ready to have that conversation with you, pushing it is the absolute wrong thing to do.
Yeah, but you guys got to be okay with rejection. Rejection happens. Nobody likes to be rejected. I don't like to be rejected. I really don't, but we're all going to get rejected. It is a lesson, you guys. It's not a no. It's a, okay, I failed here, but I'm going to learn, how do I get over that objection next time? And so this is a way that I really had to reframe this too. So if you want to make $1 million playing baseball, you got to bat 300. So let's reverse engineer that. If you want to make $1 million a year playing baseball, you got to learn how to strike out 7 times. So I know my numbers until how many no's I need until I get a yes on something. So you can totally turn it into, man, I'm 2 away. I've gotten 12 no's. Number 14 is going to be a yes. So you can get excited about your no's that happen. You're like, cool, got a no out of the way. That's awesome. I got 11 more to go, or whatever the number is, you can know. And that's something else that you can track. You know that number, how many no's it takes until you get a yes. So you know, so that it just takes those rejections that you guys get and it doesn't affect you anymore. You become Teflon. It just bounces right off you. You're good to go. Okay. So that's a really important thing that really helps call reluctance as well, you guys. Okay. That's one of the toughest lessons I had to learn, and I'm really glad I finally figured it out. So if I can drop that and you guys just reverse engineer stuff. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Craig, for everything. Anybody have any last minute questions?
No questions, but thank you.
I do have a question, actually, because I'm sure you said it, but I totally forgot, and I'm not sure. What is loth?
Oh, LOH.
LOTH.
ALTH. Sorry. It's a letter of the heart, and that's one of those things that I would totally get into with you guys. So it's part of the mailer I do. So I literally only mail out 2 things to all of my database. I letter of the heart, and I alternate which month I do it in. So 6 months I do letter of the heart, 6 months I do evidence of success, which is the EOS section. So letter of the heart is nothing to do really about business. It's more about me. I just did one for Thanksgiving last month that went out to everybody. So it's one of those things where just my mailers, or I do email things. So letter of the heart is just about you, not connecting to business. Evidence of success is, hey, I sold this property. This is how we did it. We explain how it goes out and everything like that. Okay. But that's something that we can get more into another time of what those look like. Guys, I also have scripts. If you guys need any scripts for how to talk to people. If you guys are struggling of what to talk to, I have scripts. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I hate scripts. You don't. Everybody in this business uses scripts, whether you think you do or not. If somebody says something, you go, I know exactly how I'm going to answer that. And you already know what you're going to say, but as they're asking the question, you guys. So that's scripted. So do you need to follow the scripts verbatim? No, make them your own. But if you guys need some scripts of how to talk to people on different theme days and things like that, I'd love to share that with you guys too. Okay.
We would love that as well, because even if you're practicing reading off those scripts, you're going to change them up so they sound like you. So you're ready for that rebuttal. So that would be awesome, Craig. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll get an email.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll get everything over to Robin so you guys can have this access. And then again, I'm always available for you guys. So do not hesitate to reach out to me. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate everything. You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.